Hola, Mina-san! Welcome back for another round of Magic Commander deck building, or Tuneup, whatever you want to call it. Today I'm going to be covering my the first Sliver Commander deck. Um, I cobbled it together when I saw that the first Sliver single was available at Retro Lotus in Somerville, New Jersey. New hobby card game shop. They focus on trading card games, and they got like all kinds of cool stuff. Model very anime related anime models like Gundams and I was reincarnated as slime. But they also got um, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Flesh and Blood, One Piece. They're a bit of a hot spot there, and they held a Lost Caverns of Ixalan pre-release on Friday, which I missed out on because they are far away from me, very, very, very far away, and I can only get to them once a week. So I showed up on Saturday, and they had this whole elaborate setup of dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park was also in Lost Caverns of Ixalan, from what I understand. And I don't have any of that, and I'm not interested in it because it's weird. It's pure science fiction mixed with what is supposed to be a high fantasy themed card game. So sorry, it's you know what I mean. They can only get away with so much, like Kamigawa, the Neon Dynasty, which is still based on high fantasy despite the technology, but it makes a lot of sense. Jurassic Park doesn't, but it's only because of the dinosaurs, which the world of Ixalan happens to be a part of. Ixalan, if I understand correctly, is based on Mesoamerica, the Aztecs, the Mayans, that kind of stuff. And amongst them is dinosaurs. And what's cool about it, well, I never got saw the original Ixalan set, so I never got to see the first dinosaurs. But in this set here, which is my first go in the world of Ixalan, the dinosaurs are feathered. And for those of you who might not be in the know, because it was never really announced to great fanfare, why I don't know, but scientists have successfely sent. Okay, let me put it this way. Let me roll back to the beginning. It's the year 1860. Some dude made a discovery of a fossil called the Optoroctorix. I think I've mispronounced that terribly. Um, and basically, it was the first dinosaur fossil that had fossilized feathers attached to it. And so from 1860 to now, paleontologists, scientists, biologists, you name it, we're all trying to figure out if that dinosaur is related to our modern day birds. And in the 90s in China, they found more fossils with feathers, as well as with fossilized feathers, as well as other characteristics that of a bird. Now, remember when we saw the original Jurassic Park, the first movie, they did mention that the Velociraptor fossil they found, Dr. Alan Grant pointed out that it had similarities to that of a bird, to which the kid said it looks like a giant turkey. And, well, now they were able to confirm all of that. They confirmed the entire bone structure, setup, similarities to certain gizzards and bones within the structure of the dinosaurs, that they were indeed connected to our present day birds. And they established two categories. They established two categories. One is aviary and non-aviary. The non-aviary are the reptilians, basically. You know what I'm saying? Your alligators, which many of them are still here to this day. The Komodo dragon, the alligators, those who survived the great cataclysm of the giant rock. The category that the birds fall under are called theropods. The theropods are the two-legged ones. Most popularly, our favorite Tyrannosaurus Rex. Basically, The birds are their own category within the theropods, but they were there at that time. Many of the birds, and to this day, scientists are still studying how was it that not only the birds shrunk in size, many of the birds shrunk in size, but managed to survive the great cataclysm of the falling rock. So the ones that we know of, like the Tyrannosaurus and them, they died out completely. But the birds that were living in that time did survive and evolved over time thanks to Darwinism. And eventually, they still walk amongst us, to which they've become our food. In any other time, the dinosaurs would be the alpha and we would be their food, but not this time. This time we are their food. They are our food. Correction, they are our food. So they were able to link it up to birds like the chicken and the ostrich and so on. And one of those amongst the birds happens to be a human-sized bird called the cassowary. Look it up. They're very scary, and they have all the behavior, volatile psychological capacities of a velociraptor, up down to the freaking claws, which are freaking long. And humans in Australia, where the cassowary hangs out at, have gotten killed by them. They're ferocious. They're very territorial. They don't like anyone being anywhere near them, and they will follow you. They will follow you, and they run very, very fast, like cheetah fast, from what I understand. And they will jump up and swipe those claws, just like we see in Jurassic Park, and they will kill you. They don't eat us, apparently, unlike the Velociraptor, but they will. They will attack with impunity. They will hunt. They will hunt us down until we're no longer the threat. So yeah, I think the birds are legit dinosaurs. Well, people will tell you that they're not a type of dinosaur. They literally are the dinosaurs. They literally are present day dinosaurs, and they're the only ones, as far as scientists know, to have survived, along with a few reptilians like the Komodo dragon. But a vast majority of those of that Triassic and Jurassic area and that type of era, they're long gone. But those that managed to survive the great cataclysm of the falling rock managed to survive, which is pretty obvious when you consider that birds have feathers and their feathers are warm and they could survive the freaking cold winter. And they only have to peck on seeds, whatever surviving seeds were out there, and bugs and such. Like, they adapted. The birds adapted from that ice age, and came out of it gangbusters. And then we started walking the earth, and we were like, fried chicken, shank. But the reason why I'm pointing all this out is because in the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, the dinosaurs have feathers, and I don't know how many of you are aware of that, but I know a lot of you'll be finding it very weird, when I start picking apart this Precon deck to incorporate into my commander decks, and whatever surviving species of dinosaurs left will be put into its own deck, which will be coming soon. But I thought I'd give context because Magic the Gathering did incorporate the feathers into the dinosaurs, and that's really pretty cool that they lined it up. Unlike Jurassic Park, until Jurassic World, they lined it up with the scientific discoveries, with the and the establishment. So it's gonna be pretty awesome. But I'm not gonna go through the Ixalan deck like I'm gonna do here with my first deck. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crack this open. We're gonna crack this open. Well, that's a lie because I already cracked it open. I'm sorry. I cracked it open on Saturday because I wanted to look at it, but I haven't poked holes. I gotta look at what's in here. Oh no, my cards. Oh my gosh, the whole thing's ruined. The whole show's ruined. Oh my gosh, he really stinks. And he stinks so bad, I'm gonna hit the subscribe button. That's right. Go right on ahead and subscribe if you think I stink. uh, but I figured I'd do a quickie because I had cracked this open. It's a beautiful box. This is supposed to be Patent Laza. This is the commander for the Velociraptor. The Velociraptor. It's pretty cool. I love that they put a little statement on here. It says tiny armed, still dangerous. Down here on the bottom. A lot of these commander decks have those sayings. Let's see. All right. And that's gonna fall over. Don't worry, I'll get weight on that. So it's got the standard fare. It's got the standard fare stuff. I was very careful to keep it in its wrapper. Raptor. Keep it in its wrapper as much of it as possible, so it wouldn't take any damage until I can officially keep it out in the open. I'm sorry, my throat is a little coarse today. But I'm going to build my first ever tricolor deck, covering Pantlanza here. This is Pantlanza's Sun Crown. Sorry, it's not very clear. But basically, this is the first Sliver version of dinosaurs, but a poor man's version of the first Sliver. It's got a cascade effect, but not very potent. And of course, the standard fare tokens, which I'm surprised because they only gave 6 tokens this time. Most others would give a lot of tokens, but I guess it's because it doesn't have any +1/+1 counters or any other unusual counters to it. And what did I get out of this little bonus cards that they got here? What's it called? The Collector Booster Sample Pack. Well, it's very simple. I got a couple of cool cards here, and that is the Illustrious Wanderglyph. The Illustrious Wanderglyph. Let me switch scenes. I apologize. I am so sorry. I'm so ecstatic about Ixalan. Here we go. So, yeah, straighten that out. Here's the first Sliver. We'll be covering that in a second. But here's the Illustrious Wanderglyph. Artifact Creature Golem. Ascend. I don't know how that works. I'll figure that out. But other artifact creatures you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the City's Blessing. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token. It's interesting that they brought back the gnomes because of bottle gnomes. I remember the bottle gnomes. I have a couple of those. But I'm definitely going to add this to my Shorkai deck. Because it's very heavily focused on blue and white artifact creatures, and I like that it gives artifact creatures +2/+2, which means my vehicles get the boost, and I could get some free artifacts out of it at the beginning of my upkeep. So I'm definitely going to be incorporating that into my Shotokai deck when I get to bring that out. The second card that I got, which I don't understand, maybe y'all can comment down below and explain to me, but why is it warped? Why is this foil warped? It's very annoying. You know, I cracked it open, it got exposed to the air, and suddenly it warped. And I don't like that. But this is going to go into my dinosaur deck, the Rampaging Ceratops, because it's got a Menace. It's got Ultra Menace. Rampaging Ceratops can't be backed except by 3 or more creatures. So I'm definitely adding this to my Pantlaza Sun Favorite deck. And I also found some dinosaurs that I happen to have because I had scooped up those Jumpstart decks. I lucked into a dinosaur pack in the Jumpstart, and so I ended up with dinosaurs like the belligerent Brontodon and the Raging Regisaur. So I got some, so I have these extra dinosaurs that I can incorporate into Pantlaza, and so now I got plenty of options to work with if I need to, plenty of options to work with. And then I got the rest of this, the standard fare stuff. What is this here? Is this a poster? This is a poster, right? Yeah, it's a poster. That's all it is. It explains Pantlaza. I don't know. Yeah. So since Oh, and then they got the rules for Commander on here, and how to play the deck. Very straightforward. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, this is yeah. Oh well. Maybe I should do it over here with this camera. There we go. So this is cool because I have a dinosaur commander. The other dinosaur commander that I'm using is Italy, which is a more goblinoid deck, and of course, we got this here. Oh, what's in here? I didn't notice this. Oh, it's a dial tracker, weak sauce, because they see, because this goes up to 20, but it's 21 life. It's 21 life. The other side, it counts down to 40. It's very weird, but they don't include the 21 life counters you need for. Oh well, I guess I don't know. And then here's the box for your deck, for your commander deck, which you have to form. But I'm not gonna do all that. I don't want to waste too much time because we want to cover the first sliver. Okay. So let me get this in place here. Okay. Oh, that's why. All right, slide in here. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's why they stuck it in here like so. Sorry. I want to put the box back up, the display box back up. There we go. Now I should be able to. Hey, we got it. We got it to fit in. So hopefully this thing can weight it down. All of this here. And I'll take out the tokens. I like free tokens. People are like, well, I don't keep the free tokens. Me, I'm like, that shit cost me money. This costs money. I ain't throwing out them tokens. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. So I'm going to keep this deck out because I'm going to remove cards from this commander deck and see where I can fit them into oh, I have it the wrong way. Yes, I do. Yes, I do have it the wrong way. And fit it into my other commander decks, and then see what I can do with the leftovers to create my first full-on dinosaur deck, because I'm very excited to have a dinosaur deck. Who doesn't want a dinosaur deck? Comment below if you like dinosaur decks. If you're a fan of a dinosaur deck. There we go. Alright, let's see if this can stand up on its own. Just barely. Just barely. Alright, so this is the first sliver deck. Alright, here we go. Oh. Get the commander out of view here. Oh my gosh, it won't stay up. Oh no. Oh no. Well, this is why I have you here. So you can stay up. Perfect. See? Improvise. Oh my gosh, he improvises so good. I'm going to hit the subscribe button. I know that. I think that's a tired joke now. So let's shift this to the side here so that way I can have some space. And here's what's in the first sliver deck. Basically, when I introduced this to the commander players over at Retro Lotus, they were kind of shocked because of what was in there and what was not in there. So, of course, we have the first sliver with this very unique and very interesting looking card face. It took a while for me to read it, but yeah. Slivers you have Cascade, and it has Cascade itself. It's a very interesting artwork they went with here. And there's the damage, its toughness, and power toughness. This is kind of like some kind of horror VHS cassette tape kind of thing. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So this is the first sliver. My commander, legendary sliver creature, 5 one of each color for 5 mana. Cascade. And I can cast. My slivers have the ability to cascade. There we go. So, lands. I'm only playing with 3 of each color, so I have, and I'm using the Kamigawa artwork because they're very beautiful, very lovely, and I'm glad I have a use for them. So I got the forest, and I have the plains, the plains, the islands, the mountains, and finally the swamp. 3 of each, 15 cards. The rest are all non-basic lands, starting with Urzatron. Now, it was suggested because by Sliver by Sliver commander players that the may not be very good for this deck because it's very slow to get all 3 out. It's understandable. I'm still probably gonna hold on to it for now until either it's obsolete or I find something better. We'll see what happens. But I am keeping the Urzatrons because you'll see why once I get past all of the non-basic lands. But I got them. Yeah, I learned about the term Urzatron and Voltron. I was like, why does it keep calling Voltron? Did they actually come up with a Voltron set? No, turned out that's what they refer to Urzas, and use the term Tron. So Urza's Power Plant. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. If you control the mine, the tower, and the power plant, you add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool instead. The tower is the same thing as well as the mine. If you have all 3, you get a boost. But the tower gives you 3 colorless mana as opposed to the mine and power plant, which gives you 2 colorless mana. If you get all 3 out, and you could be able to tap for a total of 7 mana with all 3 Urza lands here. Yeah, let me, you know what? So that way I can stop doing this. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like moving my physical body over just like this. How's that? That sounds good? That sounds good. And make sure there's well-provided light. Next up is Survivor's Encampment. I add a generic mana to my mana pool. If I tap an untapped creature that I control, I can add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. Next up is Rupture Spire. Rupture Spire enters the battlefield tap. When Rupture Spire enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless I pay 1 generic mana, and I can add 1 mana of any color. Next up is the Path of Ancestry. It enters the battlefield tap, and I can add 1 mana of any color in my commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with my commander, scry 1. So if I were to tap this Path of Ancestry, and since my commander is a Sliver and I play a Sliver, I can scry for every Sliver, and the Cascade just makes things even more more crazy ramp. Grand Coliseum comes into play tap. I can tap for 1 generic mana, or I could tap to add 1 mana of any color to mana pool and take 1 damage. 1 damage means nothing in Commander because I have a lot of life, to begin with. Command Tower, we all know what it is. Add 1 mana of your commander's identity. Simple and straightforward. Next up is Dimir Aqueduct. Dimir Aqueduct enters the battlefield tap. When Dimir Aqueduct enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. You tap it, and you get blue and black mana. Blue and black mana at the same time. Next up is Crumbling Necropolis. Again, it enters tap. And if you tap for mana, you could get a blue, a black, or a red. Your choice. Your choice of blue, black, or red. Then there's Sandstep Citadel. Enters the battlefield tap. And if I tap that, I could get white, black, or green. Any one of those 3. Terramorphic Expanse. This is a card I rarely use in my commanders, but in this one, I felt this was extraordinarily vital because land for a rainbow deck is a premium, especially regular basic lands. So you tap the Terramorphic Expanse and sacrifice it, and you search your library for a basic land card and put it into the battlefield tap, and then you shuffle the library. I feel that's normally I don't like to play land cards that do something like that, but in this instance, because it is a rainbow deck and I need to get to the get to the colors quickly, this makes a lot of sense to me, as opposed to say using in a mono deck or a dual color deck. Maybe in a tricolor deck, it makes perfect sense. Anything that's like 3, 4, or 5 colors, I feel Terramorphic Expanse should be in your deck, so you can get to that land and not get caught up in the card draw. But with a 2-color deck or a monocolor deck, I don't see the necessity to it, because you have plenty of space. Not just only to put the lands in there, but also plenty enough space to play cards like, say, Wild Growth or Burnish Heart, where you can, fetch those lands out quickly. And you can use that one land slot you have here that Terramorphic Expanse is covering for something that can let you tap a land. Next up is the Golgari Rot Farm. It comes into play tap. When it enters the battlefield, return a land you control to the hand. You tap the card, you get a black and a green simultaneously. Then there's Selesnya Sanctuary. Does the same thing. It comes into play tap, return a land, and when you tap it, you get green and white at the same time. And then we have the Orzhov Basilica. Same rule as the Sanctuary and the Rot. Play it, return land to your hand, and this one will give you white and black on the tap. Next up is at Boilerworks. So again, the same rule. It comes with a play tap, return the land to your hand, and you get to add blue and red on the tap. So I got a lot of these type of cards, which is great, because I don't have to struggle in terms of getting colors. I don't have to worry about individual colors. I could get both colors to work with. And then I got this one, Rakdos Canarium, which again does the same thing as the Boilerworks and the others. Comes with the play tap, return land, and then when I tap this, I get black and red, which is good. Next up is the Secluded Courtyard. When it enters the battlefield, I choose a creature type. That will be a Sliver. I tap for generic mana, and when I tap this card, I could get 1 mana of any color, and I could spend this only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type, or activate an ability of a creature or creature card of the chosen type. So basically, it covers Sliver costs. So I declare Sliver, I can cast any color, and I can activate any of the colors that they produce. So it helps cover their costs very easily. Reflecting Pool from the good old Tempest days. Just tap it and add 1 mana. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any type that any land you control can produce. Basically, if I have City of Brass, I could tap for all 5 colors. So speaking of City of Brass, here's the ever classic card. We all know what it does. It comes to the play tap and deals 1 damage to me. And I add 1 mana of any color. Whenever City of Brass becomes tap, I take 1 damage, and I get to add 1 color in the mana pool. Very solid card. Very great for rainbow decks, especially if you're doing slivers. It should be every sliver deck that every Sliver commander should always have a City of Brass in there. If you're able to get it, get it. If you're capable of getting it, get the card and you put it into your Sliver deck. No excuse. And finally, Exotic Orchid, in which I can tap 1 mana of any color that a land any opponent controls could produce. So, okay, I'm having land trouble. I'm having mana trouble. I don't have the mana that I have, but my opponent happens to have that green that I need. All right, so I'll tap that green that my opponent has, and I can be able to bring out my slivers. So now let's cover the slivers. We got the ever classic Horned Sliver. Old slivers gain trample. Our favorite, one of my favorites, the Horned Sliver. Then there's Quick Sliver, in which you may play Quick Sliver anytime. You could play an instant. Any player may play Sliver cards anytime he or she could play an instant. If I understand correctly, the errata goes. This Sliver has Flash, and all Slivers gain Flash. Let's see here. Yeah. it says it right here. Flash. Any player may cast Sliver spells as though they have Flash. So this is actually pretty solid, very important. If I were to get that out before I got the first Sliver out, I could be able to flash the first Sliver, and I could pull off a Cascade during my opponent's turn. I could probably do it at the end of my opponent's turn, ensuring that I can get get a creature out right away, and then saying. This is Gigantic Sliver. All Sliver creatures I control get +3/+3. It's basically a giant growth muscle sliver, which is pretty cool. Then there's Gemhide Sliver. When I saw this, I made sure I got my hands on this one. Or did it come with... No. Yeah, I got my hands on it when I saw it and scooped it. Single purchase. All slivers have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So basically, it's the Sliver of Paradise, as I like to call it, the Sliver of Paradise. Next up is Brood Sliver. Whenever a Sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may put a 1/1 colorless Sliver creature token, which is pretty important. You want to really pile on the Sliver count. The ever classic Muscle Sliver, the first Sliver I've ever came across and introduced to in Magic the Gathering. Tempest, all Slivers get +1/+1. There's also the white version of Muscle Sliver called Sinew Sliver. I gotta get my hands on that. Because having Muscle Sliver and Sinew Sliver out at the same time makes my Slivers +2/+2. Heart Sliver, another classic from Tempest. All Slivers are unaffected by Summoning Sickness, aka Haste. Bone Splitter Sliver. All Slivers get +2/+0. So, yep, which is pretty powerful. The Two-Headed Sliver. All Slivers have Menace, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to have there. Battering Sliver. All Slivers have Trample, so it complements the Horned Sliver. Oh, I didn't get the Horned Sliver, but I drew this one. Okay, now I can give Trample. Shifting Sliver. Slivers can't be blocked except by Slivers. Basically, Shadow. Slivers have Shadow effect, which is crazy when you think about it. Then there's the Mistform Sliver. All Slivers have 1. This creature's type becomes the creature type of your choice, in addition to its other types until end of turn. So, if I, well, you'll understand clearly. If by chance, say, I have a card that boosts a card type. Let's say I have Imperious Perfect, which gives elves +1/+1. I don't have it in the deck, but I'm just giving an example of what the Misformed Sliver does. What would happen is, if I have the Prefect, which gives all elves +1/+1, I activate the Misformed Sliver and add the elf type to the Sliver. So now all the Sliver will get +1/+1. And if I do that, and if I have enough lands to pull it off, I could give all my Slivers that elf type, and they can get the +1/+1 boost as quickly as possible. Let's see here. Maybe if I do that, I could barely. Yeah, the glare is starting to make things worse. Another classic, Winged Sliver. All Slivers gain flying. Then there's the Talon Sliver. All Slivers gain first strike. So Tempest was really great with this, introducing the Slivers. They gave them all the classic evergreen keywords: first strike, haste, trample, and so on. And I'm glad that I managed to get them. That I got them back then. Because all of these, just to note, these Tempest cards, Slivers, I've had them since Tempest was first released. So we're talking the 90s here. These are very, very old cards. Very, very old cards. We're talking 96, 97. I forgot when 5th edition and Tempest in the Weatherlight came out. But I got those Slivers since then, and I love them. This is the Watcher Sliver. All Slivers get +0/+2. So have the Bone Splitter and the Watcher out, and yeah, that's crazy stuff. Then here's Crypt Sliver. All slivers gain tap, regenerate target sliver. I can assure you that actually helped me out, saving one of my slivers when I made it a blocker in my first pod play. Mind Whip Sliver. Each sliver gains 2. Sacrifice this creature. Target player discards a card at random. Play this ability as a sorcery. Not a very good card for this deck because I'm not doing. I mean, it's hand destruction, but it's done at random. I don't feel like there's a guarantee. I don't feel like there's a guarantee in this case here, in that regard, to be able to stop. I don't know. The fact that my opponent could just discard anything, unless of course I have enough money. Well, I don't want to sacrifice. Well, this is why I need the token slivers, because I can sacrifice the token slivers easily since they'll gain that ability. So next up is from Stronghold, the Victual Sliver. Each sliver gains 2. Sacrifice this creature, gain 4 life. So again, if I have token creatures and I have enough money, get 4 life for each one I sacrifice. Crystalline Sliver. If I this should be Shroud. Let me check here. I'm looking at Scryfall. If you're wondering what I'm typing up. Here we go. Crystalline Sliver. I believe the errata is Shroud. Yes, all slivers have Shroud. I'm sure, like I said, I'm dealing with old stuff here. I'm from the old days. But yeah, giving all slivers Shroud is crazy. But it's also interesting because that means that it's kind of weird. That means that they can't really get any of their abilities because they do target. It may work, it might not work. I don't know if I should have the crystalline. But the fact that they won't get targeted is a good thing. Acidic Sliver 2, tap 2, sacrifice this creature. This creature deals 2 damage to target creature or player. I would keep that. I'm definitely keeping that, and I'll tell you why. Taking out a creature. The fact that I could take out a creature, or damage it enough that I can be able to take it out with one of my own creatures is a good thing. Although it does require a sacrifice, but that's what the tokens are about. You want to have the tokens, sliver tokens. Next up is the Spined Sliver. If any sliver is blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature blocking it. As one said, it's a better rampage. It's a good rampage. But it's pretty good because that actually helped out as well. Metallic Sliver. Metallic Sliver counts as a sliver, straightforward, 1 drop, and it gets all the stuff. It got errata to just be a sliver and remove the text, but yeah, that was what it was like back in the day because it just said artifact creature before they actually did this, where they put the creature type next to artifact creature. So got some artifacts going here. Walking Skyscraper, artifact creature, construct. Now, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each modified creature you control. That's equipment or as you control. Counters are modifications. It's got trample. Walking Skyscraper has hexproof as long as it's untapped. It can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls. So, nice little beefy hexproof trampler to work with. So I paired up the slivers with artifact creatures. Skittering Surveyor. When Skittering Surveyor enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Workshop Assistant. When Workshop Assistant dies, return another target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then I have Tawashi Guidebot. When Tawashi Guidebot enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Tap 4 mana and this card, Tawashi the Guidebot, and you get to draw a card. And this ability costs 1 less to activate for each modified creature you control, which is equipment, auras, and counters that you control. So you can add. So if I get like 4 modifications out there, it's a free tap. Very quick, very easy. Foundry Inspector. Artifact spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. I have Alloy Mirror. Add 1 mana of any color. That's a nice little rainbow rock. A nice little rainbow rock there. Yeah. Shimmer Mirror. Flash. You may cast artifact spells as though they had flash to complement the quick sliver, which gives my slivers flash. Then I have Suspicious Bookcase. It's a wall defender. I tap 3 in the wall, and target creature can't be blocked this turn, so I can make an unblockable sliver run amok if I need be. Then I got the Ornithopter of Paradise. Flying, add 1 mana of any color. Another nice rainbow rock here. Great alternative to Birds of Paradise. It was actually pretty cheap compared to Birds of Paradise. So I highly recommend it. And it's 2 generic mana. So, you could be able to pay it off. Then I got the Circuit Mender. When it enters the battlefield, gain 2 life. When it leaves, I draw a card. Very, just a nice quick little thing to help with the assist. Burnished Heart. This is the card that I was talking about. You pay 3, sacrifice Burnished Heart, and you search your library for 2 basic lands and put them into the battlefield tapped. This is a big deal. Very, very important for this Sliver deck, because I can get the colors that I'm missing and get them onto the field, and then I'll be ready to bring out the first Sliver. Now, this is where it gets a little wacky here. I added vehicles. Not a lot of vehicles. I think I added 5 or 6, but I added vehicles, and let me tell you something. The vehicles did their job. I was hitting my opponents more with the vehicle than I was with the slivers, and the sliver players, the sliver commander players, were a little surprised to see this. And they were like, "Oh, you don't really need this. You could fill this in with more creatures." But when I played the pod, they made the difference. Like, they were the bigger difference, because I crewed the vehicles with the slivers and let the slivers pilot the vehicles to hit my opponents freely, and I didn't have to risk losing slivers that have the important abilities, at least until I would get the cards that I need to produce sliver tokens. So I'm probably gonna need to figure that one out. But they helped out with the assist. High speed hover bike, flash flying. When high speed hover bike enters the battlefield, tap up to 1 target creature, crew 1. Then I have Cultivator's Caravan. This is the primary reason why that I added the vehicles in the first place. It's a mana rock. It's a rainbow mana rock. Just simply tap it, add 1 mana of any color, and I can crew 3, so I can pilot it. So it's pretty good. Then there's Brute Suit, Vigilance, crew 1, straightforward. This was the one that helped me win the game. Sky Sovereign Consul Flagship, flying. Whenever the flagship enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls, crew 3. I have taken out a couple of creatures with this whenever I crewed it with a sliver. It was pretty awesome. Having the slivers pilot the ship. Search Hacker Mech. It has Menace. When it enters the battlefield, deals damage equal to twice the number of vehicles I control the target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls, crew 4. So if I happen to have a couple of vehicles out, I could be able to dish out damage in creature white. This one was the kill card. The Wing Slit Planar Portal. Very classic card. You tap 6, tap the portal, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. So what made this the kill card? I searched for Wing Sliver. With all the slivers that I had out, pumped up with the Bone Splitter and having the Sky Sovereign, I planar portaled the Wing Sliver, brought it out, gave all the slivers flying, crewed the Sky Sovereign, and just took out my last opponent to win the pod. It was pretty awesome. Hedron Archive, Mana Rock, add 2 generic mana on the tap. Tap 2 mana and tap the archive, and then sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. So if I need that desperate card draw, there it is. Myosynth Springwell. It enters the battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. I can search my library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into my hand. It goes to the hand, but I needed a little some kind of artifact to let me at least fetch something for now. If there's a stronger alternative, I'll be happy to get that. Sisei's Ring, classic. Visions. Add 2 colorless mana to the mana pool. Classic rock. Ichor Wellspring enters the battlefield or is put into the battlefield into a graveyard from the battlefield. Draw a card. Again, it's not extremely strong, but it does give me a card draw at least. But I am open to alternatives for those 2 cards. Commander Sphere. Add 1 mana in the color identity. Sacrifice it to draw a card. So I could get basically it's a rainbow rock since the first Sliver is 5 colors, 5 color commander. Same with Arcane Signet, another rainbow rock. Thanks to the first Sliver's color identity. Network Terminal, another rainbow rock. Tap for any color. If I tap 1 mana, tap this card, and then tap another untapped artifact I control, I get to draw a card, then discard a card. So let's say I bring out the Ornithopter of Paradise, or let's say I have like or if I bring out like one of the mirrors, any one of them. Basically, actually, if I just put out, well, since I got something like Ichor Springwell, I could just tap that. I don't have to tap anything else. I could tap that, and I get to draw a card and discard a card. So Network Terminal, very, very excellent card, quite honestly. And it's only 1 mana. So it's a 3-card tap. You tap a land, you tap this card, and you tap an artifact, and you get to draw a card and discard a card. That's a fair cost, especially if you do it right, and you just tap a non-artifact creature. An artifact that is not a necessity, like not a mana rock. You could get that card draw very quickly. Then here are the diamonds. I got the Fire Diamond. Enters the battlefield, tap, add red. Then I have the Moss Diamond, which gives me green. I have the Charcoal Diamond, which gives me black. And I have the Sky Diamond, which gives me blue. The only thing I don't have is the Marble Diamond. I have only 2 of those, and they're sitting in my Sithis deck and Shorokai deck. And I've decided, for Sithis, because I have not experienced any level of mana trouble. These mana rocks didn't come out. The Moss Diamond and the Marble Diamond that I have in my Sithis deck. I've decided that I'm going to take both diamonds out, and I'm going to put this card into my Sky Diamond deck, which will be done in a second. Let me just finish the rundown. Oops, here we go. We got Ashnod's Altar. Sacrifice a creature, add 2 colorless mana to the mana pool. So if I have tokens, that'd be great. If I have a creature that I can sack, but if I have token creatures, that'll be good. Sol Grail. When Sol Grail comes into play, choose a color. Tap, add 1 mana of the chosen color to your mana pool. It's a pretty. This was a good little holdover, but because I was hoping that I could find the Marble Diamond on sale, individual card, but I couldn't find it. So I made the decision that I'm going to swap this out and bring in the Marble Diamond, and then I'm going to put in a better card. I already have cards lined up for Sithis because I wanted to bring back Hamza, because Hamza is actually really a really good medallion card, because when you have +1/+1 counters, its cost reduces, and then all other creatures that I cast have their generic mana reduced for each +1/+1 counter on the creatures that I control. So I don't really need 2 mana rocks if I have Hamza that can be able to do that and assist. I know it's 1 card versus 2, but I wanted to, put a little. I wanted some more stronger reinforced rainbow cards for Sithis. So officially, and you're all watching now, here's Marble Diamond, which replaced the Sol Grail, and that's it. I might consider putting Salt Grail in there, but to set this, but um, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'll figure that out another time. Feldwar Stone. Add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. So it's similar to the land card. Honored Heirloom. Add 1 mana of any color. 2 mana. Tap this card. Exile target card from a graveyard. And then there's Ecologist Terrarium. When it enters the battlefield, I get to search for a land card and put it into my hand. 2 mana tap and sacrifice the terrarium, and I can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. It's a sorcery speed. So what that means is that I could put a +1/+1 counter on one of my creatures, and it could help out the Guidebot and the Skyscraper. Riptide Riptide Replicator. As Riptide Replicator comes into play, choose a creature, color, and a creature type. So let's say Green Sliver. Riptide Replicator comes into play with X charge counters on it, because it's got X cost in the mana, and its mana cost. I tap 4, tap this card, 4 mana, and tap this card. Put an XX creature token of the chosen color and type into play, where X is the number of charge counters on Riptide Replicator. So if I get enough mana, if I could generate enough mana, I could say put 5 counters on it, and I can have 5/5 Sliver creatures for 4 cost. and they count as slivers, so they get all the abilities. Volrad's Laboratory. Choose a color and a creature type. Again, same thing. 5 mana tap. Put a token creature into play. Treat this creature as a 2/2 creature of the chosen color and type, which is again great for generating slivers. I still would like to get my hands on Sliver Queen, but she's extremely expensive, so it may never happen. Classic Sol Ring, staple of commanders. I have Urza's Incubator. When Urza's Incubator comes into play, choose a creature type, Sliver. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less to play, so I reduce the cost of my slivers very easily with the Incubator. Then I have Thran Dynamo, which gives me 3 colorless mana to help out with the artifacts. Worn Power Stone, another mana rock for 2 colorless mana. Altar of the Pantheon. My devotion to each color and each combination of colors is increased by 1. That's if I have a god. Add 1 mana of any color. If you control a god, a demigod, or a legendary enchantment, I gain 1 life. And finally, Jayamde's Tome. Tap 4 mana and the Tome to draw a card for another quick draw. So, as you see, the first Sliver deck is an artifact deck. It's nothing but artifacts. And I prefer to keep it that way because I don't have to worry about colors, except for only the slivers. So basically, I kind of eliminated 1/5 of the mana situation. 1/5 of the mana situation has been minimized by by having nothing but colorless artifacts. Many of them color rocks, rainbow rocks. So it helps out. It's great. It's fun. But I do want to put some more slivers in there. And there's a few artifact creatures that I could do without, and a few others. There's probably a few other cards maybe in there, like the Inkwells, like the Mycosynth and the Ichor. I could drop those if I could find better artifacts, which is what we're going to do now in my Precon deck. The Velociraptor. Here is the Velociraptor. So we're gonna see what we got here. I mean, I did look at the cards and everything, but I only looked at them once, so I don't remember what I got in here. So this is Pantla's Sun Favorite, which is going to be my commander. I don't know if I'm gonna include Weta Trainer Prodigy in my dinosaur deck. It makes sense, but I'll have to wait and see. So I'm gonna move this to the side. Let me push this a little bit more closer. Again, why are these cards getting warped? Look at it. It's warped. Please comment. Please tell me why are they getting warped, and how do I rectify it? All right. So here's another from my dinosaur deck. The Aegisaur. Uh, Generous gift. Destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green elephant creature. I got another one of these. I got plenty. I've been getting plenty of those. Don't really need that. Dinosaur, yes. This is the majestic Heliopterus. Path to Exile, most definitely gonna put that in there. Because I don't have another. I only have one Swords to Plowshare, and I need the creature removal, so I would definitely keep Path to Exile. Earthshaker Dreadmaw, another cool dinosaur. Um, let's see here. Ixalis Lore Keeper. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this only to cast dinosaur spells. I might consider that. I'll keep that there in mind. Thrashing Brontosaur. It's a dinosaur. Oh, this is definitely going to stay in here. The Otapek Huntmaster. Human Shaman. Because it can reduce the cost of dinosaurs, which is good. Here's another dinosaur card. It's Quinth, firstborn of Gishath. Cultivate. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those. Put one into. Oh, so this is a Kodama's Reach. Okay. Wow, that's cool. It's a Kodama's Reach. So if I could get a Kodama, I have 2 Kodama's Reach. I'll have to consider moving one out of. I think it's in it's in my Sithis deck. The other one is my Silvos, but I gotta keep that in the Silvos. But I think if I remove from Sithis and put it here, because this is a tricolor deck that the dinosaur deck is gonna be, so I might have to consider that. Trover gets +2/+4 as long as you control a dinosaur. This one is a mana dork. Add 1 mana of any color. I'm sticking with the artifacts. For the first sliver. Speaking of the first sliver, here we go. Let's put the first sliver up here. Here we are. So, for the first sliver, I could use the mana dork, hands down. It's only 2 mana, which is great. I'll have to think about that because I'm still thinking about that, because there's also the Birds of Paradise. But I might not need it because the Ornithopter of Paradise and the mirror, the alloy mirror, they cover the rainbow on the artifact side, much like the Birds of Paradise and of course Drover the Mighty, because this one costs 2 mana, alloy mirror costs 2 mana. So I got the green versions of these two green mana, the artifact versions of, what I'm saying. But this may be good for my deck because it's tricolored. Farseek, yeah, that's obvious. Which lets me search. What we got here? Migration Path. So there's a lot of fetch cards. Here's Rampant Growth. So yeah, some land fetches here. The Rampaging Raptor, another dinosaur that I want to keep. Savage Stomp. This spell costs 2 less of your control. Put a +1/+1 counter. Not really. I don't want to do the fight thing too much. Thunderherd Migration. This one is a definite yes. As an additional cost to cast this card, reveal a dinosaur from your hand and pay 1. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. I don't. Yeah, it's an optional thing. I don't know if I want to spend 3. If I'm willing to spend 3 to bring a card out to the battlefield, tap. I'll put this to the side. All right. Here's a dinosaur. This is the Thundering Spineback. We got a mana dork here. Atsukan Seer. Sacrifice it. Return target dinosaur from your graveyard to your hand. At 1 color of at 1 mana of any color. That's a tough one. Because it's a mana. Well, it's a mana dork that I could use in in the first for my first Sliver deck, but his second effect affects dinosaurs, and I don't have dinosaurs. Raging Regisaur attacks, deal 1 damage to any target. That would probably help with the Enrage. That's very crazy. Raging Swordtooth enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to each other creature. I'll keep that. This one is an enchantment. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. They enter the battlefield with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. Rhythm of the Wild. I think I'm gonna put this in the first Sliver, because ensuring that when I cascade they don't get countered, and when they enter the battlefield they get a +1/+1 counter. My choice of +1/+1 or haste. I think I'm gonna go with that in the first Sliver. So let me put that up here. Arcane Signet. I already have that in the first Sliver. Same with Sol Ring and Command Tower, the big 3. Evolving Wilds. We got some lands here. Sacrifice Evolving Wilds. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. So basically this is Terramorphic Expanse. Not sure about... Maybe for... I don't know. Maybe for the 3-color. Being as tricolor. Jungle Shrine. Enters the battlefield tap. Red, green, and white. Tap for red, green, and white. This might this may help me more here with the first Sliver than this one. Even though it makes sense to put it into the dinosaur deck. I think that I should prioritize the first Sliver, and maybe what I could do is use a card that taps for red white or green white that's in the first my first Sliver deck, and put that into the dinosaur deck as a replacement. Myriad's Landscape. I think I have that in there already. I could keep that in there, huh? No, let me put this to the side. I'll put that to the side. Let's see here. Bronzebeak Foragers. It's a dinosaur. It's a white dinosaur. Okay. For each opponent, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls until Bronzebeak Foragers leaves the battlefield. Oh, okay. I'll keep that. From the Rubble. As From the Rumble, enter the battlefield, choose a creature type. At the beginning of your end step, return target creature card of the chosen type from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. If a creature with a finality counter on it would die, exile it instead. This would help the Sliver deck, but I don't know. I don't even know if I should be playing that in any deck, quite honestly. That finality counter doesn't sound like a good thing. Dinosaur, Wrathful Raptors. Whenever a dinosaur you control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dinosaur. Wow. Okay. It's one of those backlash type effects. Altasaur, Curious Altasaur. A dinosaur you control deals damage to a player. Draw a card. It's got Vigilance and Reach. Not bad. This is a cute one, man. The Easter egg. Dinosaur Egg. Evolve. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1. Oh yeah, so this is like that beast card that I have, the Evolving Lockjaw. I forgot the name of it. When Dinosaur Egg dies, you may discover X, where X is its toughness. And what's interesting about this is that the Dinosaur Egg can fight. It's not a wall, so it doesn't have Defender. Actually, it doesn't have Defender, which means the egg can fight. And when it dies, I can discover. I don't know what discover means. I'm gonna need to look that up. Discover, where X is its toughness. I guess I'm supposed to search for it, but that's kind of a weird way to say this. Just tell me to search. Why do I have to discover it? Scion of Calamity. It's got Myriad. Whenever this creature attacks for each opponent, other than defending player, you may create a token that's a copy of this creature. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a copy card. And when it deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment the target player controls. That's actually a pretty good wipe there. It's a good wipe. Sunfrill Imitator attacks. You may have it become a copy of another target dinosaur you control, except it's the same as Sunfrill Imitator and has this ability. Huh. Oh, that can escalate. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. Yeah. All right. What we got here? We got Progenitor's Icon. Enter the battlefield, choose a creature type. Add 1 mana of any color. The next spell, the chosen type you cast this turn, can be cast as though it had. Okay, this is a good card for the Sliver deck. This is a Rainbow Rock, so that's going to go into the first Sliver. I can actually replace the Ichor or the Mycosynth for another Mana Rock. And what's crazy about it is that it gives my Slivers flash. So if I don't have the Quick Sliver, I got an alternative. Chroma's Will, instant, choose one. If you control commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both. Creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, and double strike until end of turn. Creatures you control gain lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors until end of turn. Yeah, I'm gonna put that to the side. Maybe this would be more beneficial to my Sithis deck because I can bring Sithis out quickly. Very fast. I think this would be a much more better card and a good kill card for my Sithis deck. So I'll put that to the side. This is Kinjali's Sunwing Flying Dinosaur. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Oh, okay. Wow. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. I like that. That's a great dinosaur there. If a source will, let's see, Temple Altasaur. If a source deal damage to another dinosaur you control, prevent all but one of that damage. Oh, that's a good way to get Enrage going. You can absorb all that damage, and if they got Enrage, that 1 damage for Enrage. Awakening Sun's Avatar. Another dinosaur. If you cast it from your hand, destroy all non-dinosaur creatures. That's cool. We got a legendary Elder Dinosaur, which has flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. It's called Zitalpa Primal Dawn. It's a 4/8. I will keep that. Anything that's dinosaur is going in there. It's gonna be all dinosaurs, and then I'll consider any type of alternative creature support. Chandra's Ignition. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power. To each other creature and each opponent. I'll put that to the side. Maybe that might work on Italy. Speaking of Italy, here's another Italy Primal Storm that I got. So thankfully I don't have to remove Italy from my Italy deck as a commander, and I can play this in my dinosaur deck. Very easy. Just so you know, exile the top card of each player's library, then you may cast any number of spells from among these cards without paying their mana cost. That's what Italy does. Fiery Confluence, choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Fiery Confluence deals 1 damage to each creature, 2 damage to each opponent, and destroy target artifact. I'm not sure. So I could do up to 3 damage to a creature, 6 damage to an opponent, or destroy up to 3 artifacts. You know what? I'll hold on to that because the fact that I can destroy 3 artifacts on 4 mana, that could be very helpful, especially if mana rocks are involved. And it's target artifacts, so I'm not restricted to just one player. I might be able to destroy 3 across the board. Let's see, Marauding Raptor. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less. That's great. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage. If a dinosaur is dealt damage this way, Marauding Raptor gets +2/+0. Dang. Yeah. Like I said, dinosaurs are staying in the dinosaur deck. Not a single dinosaur is going into any other deck. Apex Altasaur enters the battlefield. It fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Whenever Apex Altasaur is dealt damage, it fights up to 1 target creature. All right. Death Gorge Scavenger Dinosaur. Enter the battlefield with attacks. You may exile target card from a graveyard. If target creature card is exiled this way, you gain 2 life. If non-creature card is exiled this way, oh, okay, gets +1/+1. All right, so it really, so the exile is actually pretty good. Exile out of the graveyard. That's crazy. Descendant's Path. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card that shares a creature type with shares a creature with the creature you control, you may cast it without paying its mana. If you don't cast it, this is going into my Silvos deck because my Silvos deck revolves around this type of ability. So this is going into Silvos, hands down. That's going to be a fun thing. I like that. Yes, it is going. It is going in there. It's going into Silvos. It's going into my Silvos deck. Let's see here. Rampaging Brontodon. When it attacks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each land I control. That's crazy. Regal Behemoth enters the battlefield. I become the Monarch. The Monarch. Venture. Whenever you tap a land for mana while you're the Monarch, add an additional 1 mana of any color. Dang. Alright, sure. That's cool. Return of the Wild Speaker. Choose 1. Draw cards equal to the greater power among non-human creatures you control. Non-human creatures you control get +1, +3/+3. For 5 mana, nah, not worth it. I don't think it's gonna see any of my decks. Ripjaw Raptor. Don't I have this card? I think I have this one. This dinosaur. Well, that sucks. That means I got 2 of these, huh? Let me see. Is it over here? Where did I put my dinosaurs at? Uh-oh. Is it over here? No. What about here? Oh yeah, another thing to note. I completely forgot that I have these artifact red creatures along with goblins. Could have put them into my Italy deck. I'll have to try and remember that. When I'm ready to update. Hold on a second. Let me see if I got Ripjaw Raptor. Because if I do, then I don't have to worry. Here we are. Alright. Yeah, here we go. Ornery Dilophosaur, Colossal Dreadmaw, Thundering Spinebag, Orozca Frillbag, Drowsing Pteranodon. Nope, I don't have the Ripjaw Raptor. That is awesome. That's awesome. Here, let me bring them into the front here. Rampaging Ceratops is the Ripjaw Raptor. Is dealt damage, draw a card. Drowsing Pteranodon. As long as you control a creature with power 4 or greater, can attack as though it didn't have Defender. The Frillbag is just a straightforward 4/2 dinosaur. Other dinosaur, Thundering Spinebag. Other dinosaurs I control gets +1/+1, and I could create a 3/3 dinosaur creature with Trample. Colossal Dreadmaw has Trample, and finally the Ornery Dilophosaur has Death Touch, and when it attacks, if I control creature with 4 or greater, the Dilophosaur gets +2/+2, so it becomes a 4/4 Death Touch killer. So let's continue on with the Ixalan. Rich cards expertise. Draw cards equal to the greater power among creatures you control. You may cast a spell with mana value 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Well, it's not bad, but I don't know if I'll ever come across a situation like that. So that's gonna get put to the side here. Okay. So far there's a couple of cards that's useful for my other decks. Let's see here. Runic Armosaur. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land, That isn't a mana. You may draw a card. Nice. Okay, cool. Um, Shifting Ceratops, it can't be countered. Protection from blue. Shifting Ceratops gains your choice of reach, trample, or haste for 1 green tap. That is solid. That's solid. Topiary Stomper. I love this drawing, this artwork here. Vigilance. Stomper enters the battlefield. Search your library for a basic land card and put it into play. Tap. Nice. Can't attack or block unless you control 7 or more lands. Understandable. So it's 3 mana Vigilance for 4. It costs 3 mana to play. I love the artwork. Just look at that, stomping through the streets like a giant Godzilla. But that's understandable. I'll have 7 lands by then. Verdant Sun's Avatar. It enters whenever Avatar or another creature enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Cool. Life gainer. Sword Tooth, the Wayward Sword Tooth. Okay, so this is what Ascend does. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. What is the City's Blessing? You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Sword Tooth can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing. Oh, so he can't do anything unless it has the City's Blessing. Interesting. So I have to get 10 or more permanents in order to ascend. Got it. Okay, I see. I don't know why they say the City's Blessing. I guess flavor text or something. It's just it just seems a little weird, but that's okay. Quartzwood Crasher, Dinosaur Beast. Trample, whenever one or more creatures you control trample, deal combat, create a XX green Dinosaur Beast creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player. Dang. Oh man. Do 10 damage, you get a 10/10 Dinosaur Beast. Regisaur Alpha, other dinosaurs you control have haste. Dinosaurs are freaking my gosh, it's like a slivers. The dinosaurs are treated like slivers here. Other dinosaurs you control have haste. When Regisaur Alpha enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token with trample. Oh my gosh. And that will have haste too. I got a god here. Are you a god? It's Xenagos, god of revels. Indestructible as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7. It's not a creature. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and gets +X where until end of turn where X is that creature's power. Oh, that's not too shabby. Let's see here. The support card that might be good. Elder Dinosaurs, Zakama Primal Calamity. Legendary creature. Vigilance, reach, trample. When Sakama Primal Calamity enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands I control. Whoa. Get all new source. 3 mana, 1 red, which is 2 mana, 1 red. Sakama deals 3 damage to target creature. 2 mana, 1 green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. 2 mana, 1 white, you gain 3 life. And it's instant speed. Oh, wow, instant speed. Sure, and at the end of my turn, I'm going to destroy your artifact. Let's see here. Lifecrafters Bestiary. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Oh. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may pay green. If you do, draw a card. I'm definitely going to need that card draw for this deck. Land, Ark of Araska, Ascend. Get the City's Blessing. If I tap, I get a generic mana. If I tap for 5 and a card, I get to draw a card, and I activate only if I have the City's Blessing, which is 10 or more permanents. Okay. You know what? I'll keep that because a card draw is a good thing, and it's on a land. Lands are very difficult to get rid of, so being able to get to draw a card on a 5 tap is pretty good. Canopy Vista. We got some lands here. I'll have to investigate these dual lands here, like Canopy Vista. I think I already have that. My Sith is, but I'm not sure if I got that. I don't think I have that in there, in my first one. So I'm gonna have to siphon these guys out. Clifftop Retreat, Cinderglade. Enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 more lands. Enter the battlefield unless you control a mountain or plains for Clifftop Retreat. I got Exotic Orchid, so that can stay here. Fortified Village. I don't think I have that in any of these. Um, oh no, I think I have it in Sithis. Let's see here. And then there's the Precon Snarl, which is the same as the Village, but it's red and white for the tap. And this one gives me red and green. Same thing. Game Trail, red and green. Okay. I think I'll probably keep those. Let's see here. Keswick Wolf Run. Tap for generic mana. Tap for X and one red, one green. Tap this card. Trample. The target creature gets plus X plus 0 and gains trample until end of turn. This might be okay. It's a boost. You know what? Sure. I'll keep that. I'll keep that in here. That's interesting. And I get a mana rock out of that. Mosswort Bridge. Hideaway 4. When this land enters the battlefield, get a top 4 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library. It enters the battlefield tap. Tap for green to generate green mana. Pay green, tap this card. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if creatures you control have total power 10 or greater. I'll put that to the side for now. That seems overly complicated. Path of Ancestry, that's going in there. Rogue's Passage. Mana Rock. Pay 4 and tap this card. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. You know what? I'm going to keep that. That's good for, that'll be good for the deck. What's this here? Secluded Courtyard. Mana Rock. Choose a creature type, dinosaur. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell, the chosen. Do I have that? Secluded Courtyard? Because I'd rather have that for my Sliver deck. So, you know what? I'll put that up there. I don't think I have the Courtyard. That'll complement. That should complement. Temple of the False God, Mana Rock 2, activate only if you control 5 or more lands. That's going to happen, so I'll definitely put that in there. Terramorphic Expanse. I'm okay with that because, like I said, three or more colors you should have Terramorphic Expanse. Thriving Bluff. Enter the battlefield, choose a color other than red. Add red or 1 mana of the chosen color. I don't know if that's a very good card. Same with Thriving Grove and Thriving Heart. Oh, right. These are... Oh, okay. No, the Thriving cards, they came... I have them in the Jumpstart. So I'll put those to the side. Those are the Jumpstart lands. And Unclaimed Territory. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. Again, this might be more suited for my Sliver, my first Sliver deck. And the rest here are all lands: forest, plains, mountain, and then we got here the commander, that special hard card, commander of Pantlaza, and we got here tokens, lots and lots of tokens here. Copy tokens. Here's the Monarch. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, its controller becomes the Monarch. Okay. City's Blessing. Okay, here's the City's Blessing. Oh, okay. So if I have, so if I meet the requirements for the City Blessing, I can put this out on the field. Sure. Oh no. Where did it go? Here we go. It slipped through the cracks. There we go. It's safe. There it is. It's nice and safe. So, okay. I'll keep these tokens because I am running a dinosaur deck. And I'll keep these basic lands. I'm not a big fan. Honestly, I've never been a big fan of this, just the icon. I like the tap symbol and saying add of the color. This on the basic lands, but I'm running out of those cards now because they're in the other decks. So I'm gonna see what I could do with these lands here. So now, so I guess, yeah. I mean, these are all solid dinosaurs here. So I pretty much got most of my dinosaur deck done. I got most of my dinosaur deck done, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool for this Pantlaza deck. So hey, look at that! You got a free construction out of this in today's show. So Pantlaza is my commander. Okay, so I just got to fill in the blanks, and that's it. All right. So with regard now that we've cannibalized most of this Velociramptor deck, I'm gonna figure out these non-basic lands from the Velociraptor deck. But what's going in automatically, what's gonna go into the Sliver deck is unclaimed territory. If I don't have copies of these, secluded courtyard is going into the first Sliver deck. This is definitely going in there. This Rainbow Rock, Progenitor's icon. This is going in there because I do have two other cards that produce three mana, so that's gonna go in there. And this enchantment is going to be for consideration. I don't know if I'm gonna fit it in because I'm trying to stay on artifacts. But the fact that that they can't be countered and they can get +1/+1 counters is a big deal, and that might have a big impact on the first Sliver deck. So there we go. There we go, everybody. So that was the this is my commander deck of the first Sliver with the artifact Sliver deck. There we go. It's an artifact Sliver deck. I really like the artifacts. The artifacts, they really did a great job with these artifact decks recently, with these artifact cards recently. I guess because of the Phyrexians that I missed out on years ago. And not only that, but you got a bonus dinosaur deck build, a partial dinosaur deck build. I got cards that I'm going to put into Sithis from the dinosaur deck, as well as my Silvos deck. So you'll get to see those in action next time. So yeah, that was the Velociramptor Precon commander deck, and this is my the first Sliver commander deck, and the cards that I'm going to incorporate. The lands and the artifact I'm going to incorporate into this deck to improve upon it. Thank you all for joining me, and next up, more commander. More commander. So with that said, I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and hoy se